Before we begin round 1 of the Greatest Champion, we need to figure out what format we will be using. I put all 4 formats of the 1-win champions on the wheel, and we'll spin to see what format will determine the first round. The classic 1975 to 2003 format. The one that propelled Matt Kenseth to his only title. Now the first race of the first round will take us to Canfield Speedway, the track home to the lone win of the first ever 1-win champion, Bill Rexford. However, Canfield has never been made for NR 2003, so that means we have to find another Cup Series half-mile dirt track. And I thought, why not a better one than the legendary Airbase Speedway. The 74 championship drivers have been split into 2 groups based on preliminary qualifying. In race 1, the distance will be 100 laps, half length of the original race distance for Rexford's win. 2005 Tony Stewart is on the pole with Red Byron's 1949 to his outside. Now I won't waste time with the rest of the field because with NR 2003 on dirt tracks, passing isn't particularly existent. So Tony Stewart led all 100 laps and won, while another Joe Gibbs Championship finished second, Kyle Busch's 2019 season. And then third was another Gibbs driver, Bobby Labonte's 2000. Red Byron shows off his early skills with a 4th place, and Richard Petty's 7th title, the 1979 one, finishes 5th. Going to the back of the field is some surprise drivers. Dale Earnhardt's 1990 was last, which is incredibly surprising for a year that had 9 wins. Richard Petty's 1964 is also second to last. Another surprise is Petty was incredible that season, and also his 1967 season is 3rd to last. Logano's 2018 did poor, and Johnson's 2016 is in the back. I'll show the rest of the results, but now it's time for Group 2 to race. For this race, Tim Flock's 1955 starts alongside Buck Baker's 1956, 2 300 cars in the front row. David Pearson is in 3rd, and Darrell Waltrip's 1985 is 4th. As mentioned before, action is low and passing is minimal for this race. However, 1969 David Pearson drives up and gets the lead, winning, whilst the front row finishes 2nd and 3rd. Matt Kenseth's 2003 finishes 4th, and David Pearson's 1966 is 5th. In the back is Benny Parsons, one of the 1-win champion drivers, and just in front of him is Dale Earnhardt's 1986, and Johnson's 2013. With all of them is also both of Jerry Labonte's championships. And to the first race, the bottom 4 facing elimination are the following. What surprises me is Petty's 64 starting off so awful in Johnson's 2013. Also, the 9-win season of Dale Earnhardt is now in jeopardy. We still have 3 races to go for the field to get shuffled, and now we're heading to Birmingham. Birmingham is the place of Ned Jarrett's lone win in 1961. At the time, the track was dirt, but now it's paved in this version of NR 2003. The track doesn't exist anymore though, being destroyed as the city redid the Alabama Fairgrounds. Now there is one problem with this track. You can only fit a field of 25 on it. So this race will have to be split into 3 groups. Lee Petty's 1958 has won the pole for the race, with 1998 Jeff Gordon alongside him. 2006 Jimmie Johnson and 1966 David Pearson start side by side in row 2. On a beautiful night, we go green. This race is 90 laps, and Gordon's 1998 gets a lead early. Lee Petty's 1958 falls back to 6th, and the field quickly gets single file out around the top, and nobody can make a pass. Finally, on lap 74, 2019 Kyle Busch files Herb Thomas back to 6th, with Lee Petty making a pass. After that, nothing happens, and Jeff Gordon's 1998 wins. David Pearson's 1966 is 2nd, and Joe Weatherly's 1963 is 3rd. 4th is Kyle Busch's 2019. And in last this race is Rex White, the oldest champion living at the making of this video. He finishes behind Richard Petty's 1979 championship, and Tony Stewart's 2011 is back there as well. Weirdly enough, Darrell Waltrip's 1985 is in the back, and in 21st is Benny Parsons' 1973, who puts up another poor performance, putting him in danger of being eliminated. Race 2 is 1970 Bobby Isaac on the front row, with Tim Flock's 1955 starting up front and 2nd. Lee Petty's 1954 and Rusty Wallace's 1989 start 3rd and 4th, and again we are green. The same thing happens and no passes are made near the front. Tim Flock's 1955 wins easily, and Rusty's 89 is second. Baker's 56 is third, and Petty's 72 is fourth. Gordon's 01 is fifth. In last place this race is Terry Labonte's 84, joining Parsons in concern of being eliminated. Kyle Busch's 2015 is also back there alongside the 2000 Bobby Labonte. While race 1 was good for Bobby, this can't happen again or else they might be facing elimination. Alan Kawicki is fourth to last, and Cale Yarborough's 1977 is fifth to last. The third race has Richard Petty's 1967 on the pole, with 1962 Joe Weatherly to the outside of him. 1965 Ned Jarrett and 1981 Darrell Waltrip will start in row 2, and this race actually gets closer at the end. With 15 laps to go, Ned Jarrett passes Weatherly, with 2005 Stewart stalking them both. Soon Stewart, with 9 laps to go, fires past Weatherly for second, and then coming to 4 to go, Tony gets the lead. Stewart goes on and wins, taking the first 2 races he has run in so far. This pretty much locks Stewart into the next round now, but in the back things are getting interesting. 2016 Jimmie Johnson got last, being the lap traffic that wreaked havoc on the battle. 1991 Dale Earnhardt was second to last, and 1951 Herb Thomas was also in the back of the field. The 2016 Jimmie Johnson finish isn't particularly surprising, as overall was probably his least consistent championship season. But Earnhardt's 91 is surprising. He's one of many title years still at risk of being eliminated halfway through the first round. It's Bristol, and not just the one we're accustomed to. This Bristol is the same surface as Benny Parsons' win in 1973, which propelled him to his only championship. This will without a doubt be an ultimate race of endurance for the first round. 250 laps for each race, and on the pole for race 1 is Dale Earnhardt, alongside Dale Earnhardt. It's the Dale and Dale show in a way like we've never seen it before. The bookends of his championship of Richard Childress will lead the 1997 Jeff Gordon and 1977 Cale Yarborough to the green. After 1 lap, both Earnhardts get pushed high, and Cale Yarborough grabs the lead. After 30 laps, though, the 1961 version of Joe Weatherly charges to the front. Weatherly probably for most hasn't been on people's radars, but both of his title years could be major dark horses in making it through these rounds. By lap 40, the leaders are already lapping traffic. The fabulous Hudson Hornet is anything but, and runs last. The 1968 David Pearson duels with the 2009 Jimmie Johnson. And 02 Stewart is also struggling, trying to find magic like his 2005 counterpart. The first round of pit stops commence around lap 80. Everything goes routine except for the 1991 Dale Earnhardt. As he comes in, Dale Earnhardt gets in the way of Dale Earnhardt. Dale makes contact with Dale, sending Dale sideways. Earnhardt tries to accelerate away from Earnhardt in the 3-car, and slams into the pit wall while Dale gets away. Dale's day is over now, and Dale gets to continue on. There's no caution for the most confusing wreck in NASCAR history, and 1991 Dale Earnhardt's DNF sinks him even further in points now. Yarborough and Weatherly continue to duke it out at the front, but eventually Cale starts to pull away. Soon another cycle commences at lap 150. This time 1961 Ned Jarrett has issues. He's stalled on pit road and goes multiple laps down. He gets back out on track, but he's surely going to need help in the round finale. Cale Yarborough tries to do what he's done in years past and lap the entire field, as somehow this entire race stays green. He wins by lapping all the way up to 5th. At 1972, Richard Petty gets 2nd. Weatherly 3rd, 4th is Isaac, and besides 91 Earnhardt and 61 Jarrett, 02 Tony Stewart is now in trouble. 51 Herb Thomas is in bad shape as well, and 2010 Jimmie Johnson is bottom 5 as well. Race 2 has 66 David Pearson on the pole, and Dale Earnhardt's first title on the front row with him. Again, Tim Flock starts well along with 1981 Darrell Waltrip in 4th. And already on lap 1, it's crazy 3 wide, with 81 Waltrip in the fence off of 2. 66 Pearson leads lap 1, and Waltrip finally finds a hole on lap 5, trying to start his recovery now from the teens. It's Pearson and Pearson at the front, with Yarborough following. On lap 18, 1985 Jaws and Happy Harvick make contact, leading to Harvick having serious damage. 2001 Gordon barely misses, and somehow this isn't a caution. Harvick will now go 4 down, and 82 Waltrip soon erodes into Pearson's lead, but pit stops are looming. Suddenly 53 Herb Thomas charges to the lead, and now heads through the lappers. He holds a lead through lap traffic, but now a duo of Darrell Waltrips are boogieing down on him. 58 Lee Petty soon charges through the top 5, also trying to claim the lead, but 78 Yarborough carves through them all. Lee Petty and Yarborough fight lap after lap with Herb Thomas stalking them. Finally, Lee gets the lead, but 82 Waltrip starts carving through them. Final stops commence with 100 to go, and then chaos on the front stretch. The same type of accident occurs with Flock and Bill Elliott this time, but Bill gets turned up onto the track. It causes a 15-car smash-em-up, with absolute chaos ensuing. NR has a seizure trying to figure this out, and through it all, 88 Elliott, 03 Kenseth, 55 Tim Flock, and 98 Jeff Gordon are all out of the race. This is great for Harvick, as all these spots are now gained for him. On track, only 2 cars are actually lead lap now, with everyone else being tail end or 1 down. 53 Herb Thomas leads over 07 Jimmie Johnson, and the race restarts. Very little changes as the race cycles to 42 to go. Pit stops for some reason start again, trying tire strategy, and then there's another caution. 01 Jeff Gordon gets turned on track, and 2013 Johnson is nowhere to go. This ends Jimmy's day, and now he is in disaster mode for the last race. 58 Lee Petty now has the lead, as the running order is totally screwed now. That runs how it is, with Lee winning over Herb. Johnson 07 is 3rd, Kyle Busch is 2019 in 4th, and Yarbrough 76 in 5th. 3 of Earnhardt's titles sit below the cut line right now, with Ned Jarrett's 61 also there as well. 3 of Johnson's titles are also close to elimination, along with 02 Stewart and 64 Petty, but anything can happen in Sin City. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, home to the only win of the last one-win champion, Matt Kenseth. He claimed it in 2003, the last season of NASCAR's most common points format, reusing the same track he won at, the classic flat configuration of Las Vegas. 08 Jimmie Johnson and 72 Richard Petty are on the front row, along with 65 Ned Jarrett and 2013 Jimmie Johnson. 13 Johnson is the last car in, and this 4th starting spot should help him lock into the field. With 134 laps ahead, we go green. '65 Jarrett leads, and on lap 3 in the 1, 3 Pettys go 3 wide. Throughout the opening laps, it is much of the 7-time champions at the front of the field. 3 Petty championships and 3 Johnson championships, and 08 Johnson gets the lead on lap 7. He soon gets blew back by 3 Pettys. 71 Richard leads now, and it begins to settle in over the opening run. Pit stops engage on lap 57, leading to Cale Yarbrough 77 at the front. He stays out long, and by lap 70, 71 Petty is leading again. Nothing really changes until the 71 Petty group pits on lap 103. Final stops are done, and now 54 Lee Petty leads over 72 Richard. 85 Waltrip and 88 Elliott are now there as well. They hold this way till 5 to go, when Richard passes his father and goes on the win. 85 Waltrip finishes 3rd, Elliott 88 4th, and 71 Isaac 5th. And last is 1951 Herb Thomas. He finishes last after coming in with only 20 above the cut line. Regardless of what happens in the second race, Herb Thomas has now been eliminated. Along with him in second to last is the 2013 version of Jimmie Johnson, who again had an awful day. He plummeted from his 4th place starting spot. Like the 51, no matter what happens, he's eliminated from the greatest champion. Herb will still have 1 championship year left to compete with, whilst Johnson still has 6. Race 2 has 98 Gordon starting alongside 69 David Pearson. 86 Earnhardt and 2000 Bobby Labonte will start in row 2. It is a dominant Gordon and Earnhardt front for the opening laps, with 87 Earnhardt taking the lead on lap 20. He begins to run away, and 02 Tony Stewart drives into the top 10. This is needed for Tony, as he came in only 16 above. Eventually Martin Truex Jr. drives to the lead. The pit stops follow shortly after. The race cycles out to 93 Earnhardt, way ahead now, and he leads till pit stops on lap 100. He is on a different strategy, and now 83 Bobby Allison has the lead. With about 7 to go, however, 87 Dale takes the point with 19 Kyle Busch in second. It stays that way home, and 87 Dale claims the race. 02 Tony Stewart clutches out a top 10 and guarantees an advance into the round 2. But for 64 Richard Petty, he finishes last and gets eliminated. This is perhaps the most shocking elimination. Many of these tracks suited that Richard Petty, but nonetheless, he's taken out. Up at 21st, the moderate run is 1991 Dale Earnhardt, who comes up short of advancing. His poor luck at Bristol, coupled with mediocre runs, has sunk him in standings, and he becomes one of the first 4 eliminations. Round 1 is over now, and we're down to 70 greatest champions. 1 year of all 3 7-time champions were eliminated, along with one of Herb Thomas's. Next time, we'll honor the 2-win champions. And other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you people in the future. Take care.